If you're like most entrepreneurs and professionals, your list of books to read is probably a mile long. But how much of that learning actually sticks and translates into real results? That's the problem Headway aims to solve. Today, I'm giving you an honest look at whether Headway is worth your time and money. I've been using the app for about 6 months, and I'll continue to do so. But it's not all rainbows and unicorns. There are definitely some drawbacks to consider, so I'll share the pros and the cons. You're listening to the Productive Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Tonia Kendrick, and I'm on a mission to help online business owners like you focus on the right things and take imperfect action. Every week, you'll get my best tips on everything from time management and content creation to planning effectively and managing mindset issues, all in an effort to help you become more productive. So let's jump into this episode. Let me start by telling you a quick story. A couple of weeks ago, I was waiting at the pharmacy to get my COVID booster. I knew that I would have to wait, so I went prepared to get a little work done. I'm planning to do a review of the book Profit First a little later in this 30 podcast episodes in 30 days series. I've read the book maybe 3 times, but I want to do a quick refresher before I do an episode about it. So I checked to see if it was available on Headway, and it is. So what is the Headway app? Think of Headway as an app version of Cliff Notes. It takes nonfiction books and breaks them down into 15-minute summaries. But here's what makes it cool. It's not just throwing random facts at you. The app is designed to help you actually retain and use what you learn. And it caters to different learning styles. You've got text summaries if you're a reader, and audio if you prefer to listen. Plus, there are interactive elements that help cement the knowledge in your brain and make it fun. So let's talk about the pros. Let me break down what I like about Headway. First, it offers bite-sized learning that actually fits your life. You can grab these 15-minute summaries and go through them whenever you have a small pocket of time. I like to read them when I'm waiting, like at the pharmacy the other day, or in line at the grocery store instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media. Second, the content library is useful for business owners. The app isn't trying to be everything to everyone. It focuses on business growth, personal development, and productivity. And they're constantly adding new titles too, which keeps the content fresh and relevant. 3, it learns about you. When you first sign up, you'll identify some interests and goals, and then the app will offer recommendations of books specifically for you. Plus, as you finish books, it will suggest other related books. So it's kind of like having a personal development coach in your pocket. It's super easy to use. Headway's interface is clean, simple, and pretty much gets out of your way, so you can focus on learning. The progress tracking is particularly motivating. You can see exactly how much you're learning over time. 5, try before you buy, the books, that is. This is probably my favorite thing about it. You can use the summaries to decide if you want to invest time and money in the whole book. Most of my reading time is devoted to fiction, so I don't want to waste time on a nonfiction book that isn't worthwhile. Headway lets me get the gist, and if I like what I read, then I can look for the book on Libby or buy a copy for my Kindle. Gamification. I love things that are gamified. The app has badges, daily missions, and achievement scores that help make learning feel like a game. It even has a streak tracker that you can watch grow as you maintain your daily learning habit. And finally, one of my favorite features is the way Headway uses spaced repetition to help cement what you've learned. The app will periodically resurface key concepts from books that you've read through flashcards, And that reinforces those concepts in your memory over time. It's like having a built-in study system to make sure that you actually remember the important stuff. All right, we talked about the pros. What about the cons? First, the price tag. At the time I'm recording this, Headway runs $12.99 a month, but you can get a break if you lock in longer subscription terms like quarterly or annually. And full disclosure, I actually snagged a lifetime deal through AppSumo during one of their special promotions, which honestly was just an absolute steal. If you're interested in the app, I'd recommend keeping an eye out for similar deals. I have no idea if they'll ever do one again. But even at full price, you've got to weigh it against the value of your time and the cost of buying all these books individually. Next, there's depth versus breadth. Here's the truth. Sometimes you need the whole book experience. While Headway is great for concepts, you will miss some of the deeper insights. It's like getting the highlight reel instead of watching the whole game. I've found this particularly true with more complex books like Profit First, where the details really matter. And with so many books available, you might find yourself stuck in research mode. Don't let all the options paralyze you. Just pick a topic and start learning. You can save books for later so that you don't forget about them. In fact, every time someone recommends a nonfiction book to me, I check to see if it's available in Headway, and if it is, I save it. So I have a whole list of summaries waiting for me. Then there's the iPad situation. If you're like me and you use your iPad with a keyboard, heads up, there is no landscape mode for the app. I find this super annoying, and I hope that they'll address it. I would use the app more at home if landscape was available. Now, I mostly just use it on my phone when I'm out and about. I would like to be able to read summaries at lunch as like a lunch and learn kind of situation, but without landscape mode for my iPad, I can't do that. Then the audio quality varies. The narration can be robotic. I feel certain that it's done with AI. And while clear, it can sometimes feel a bit monotonous. This is not a deal breaker for me because I don't want to listen to the audio anyway. But if you do and you're used to audiobooks with professional narrators, it's something to consider. So is Headway right for you? Ask yourself these questions. Are you someone who wants to learn but struggles to find time for full books? Do you prefer getting to the point without all the fluff? Are you focused on personal and professional growth? Or do you like to preview books before committing to them? Next, can you commit to setting aside 15 minutes every day or so for learning and then actually implementing what you learn? And can you swing the subscription cost? Finally, do you value these things? Flexibility in how you consume content, having key concepts readily available for review, building a continuous learning habit, and getting the most important takeaways quickly. Here's my take. If you're serious about personal development, but stuck in that mindset of no time to read, Headway could be the answer. Like I said, I've found it particularly useful for business books. I also have several personal development books related to energy management that are currently on my to-read list. I'm going to try them out in Headway first before deciding whether or not to get the full book for a deeper dive. That's the sweet spot of using Headway. It helps you be strategic about your learning time and investment. The bottom line is that Headway isn't trying to replace books. It's making learning more accessible for busy people like us. If you're cool with trading some depth for convenience and you're committed to actually using what you learn, then yeah, I'd say go for it. Remember though, no app is going to do the work for you. You've got to show up, engage with the content, and most importantly, take action on what you learn. That's where the real magic happens. If you're ready to give it a shot, then I'll drop a link to it in the show notes. Try it out and see if it fits your learning style. In the next episode, I'll be sharing 7 easy steps to set up a financial management system. Until then, and before you go, if you like what you hear on the Productive Entrepreneur podcast, then come check out the Organized Business Toolbox. It's my monthly membership for solo entrepreneurs who want to feel in control and take imperfect action to move their businesses forward. When you join, you'll get instant access to the training and resource vault, and a new toolbox or course drops every month. Plus, we have monthly Voxer office hours where you can privately ask me questions and get my direct feedback. If that sounds like something you need, the link is in the show notes, or visit toniakendrick.com, and I'll see you on the inside.